Hi, LiberAnarchy here. This is my third take. My internet is fucking up. I am insulting. Oh boy, it's tired. It's tired. I'm tired. I should be in bed. This should be a fun fucking response to listen to. Third and final take. This is my last fucking take because I got into a rant. My second take and the first take, my internet decided to go south. Yeah. So, responding to Manic Metropolis, I believe it was pay students, to learn. His idea was that we should have an education system that gives kids real immediate incentives to learn by paying them to learn, paying them for quality of work, as well as paying them for getting the assignments in fast or finishing early. In general, Manic Metropolis, I do very much agree with you. It's an interesting idea, and on the whole, I agree because what happens is the children are given real incentives. And children with money will learn, hey, if I don't save my money, I won't have money later on to buy something, bigger and grander you know, than what I've been spending it on now. But if I save money, and then later on I can buy something a little bit better. So children learn how to manage money, and if they're in most situations, they would be home with parents who hopefully take care of them. They're not in completely negligent situations or something, but children who shouldn't be just taken out of the home for neglect. There's if they screw up with their own money, they're still going to get food and clothing and housing and water. Okay. Whereas if you're 25 and you really screw up with your money, you might end up homeless because of it. So this is it's good to train children to manage money with, albeit fiat money, with real money, and it kind of burns my tongue to refer to fiat currency as real money. But anyway, that's a different issue. Now, I do disagree with paying children to complete assignments quickly because, as somebody who's disabled, I can tell you that I've when I put my mind to an assignment, I've done quality assignments, and sometimes I was unfairly penalized for not finishing something quickly. I'm not against deadlines, but what you could do if you want to encourage industriousness is have a list of, base assignments, and if you get these done, here are the pay rates, and if you want to do extra, be more industrious, then you get more. It's sort of like working overtime. And or you could have the list of assignments that children could even choose based on, say, money value of the assignment. Easier assignments might have, very small monetary value. Well, who knows? I mean, the sky's the limit with this, right? I mean, I'm not suggesting this is exactly what we should do, but when talking incentive structure, I mean, there's any number of things that one could implement. Excuse me. I'm using this take. I don't care. I'm burping. I don't fucking care. I'm using this take. And I have a cat back there sleeping away. Can you see him? Yeah, there he is. Little black shit. Anyway, he's a little troublemaker. I love him. Anyway, and with the summer work, in general, I like that idea too. But I think we have to make sure it doesn't become, if I don't let school invade my life even during break time, then I'm not going to get money and be able to do things with my friends. I think it should be, I think it should be along the lines of the teacher asking the student, well, what do you want to do? What are you interested in? Let's sit down and work on a summer project. Meaning the teacher would help the student to learn rather than be an enforcer. And especially in break time in summer, I would much rather the students figure out something they would like to do, or at least not hate to do, for a summer project. Because if you have a math whiz someone who really enjoys math, I would much rather um, let that kid explore mathematical theory and explore, things like discrete math or imaginary numbers, or just go explore. The sky's the limit, and do some kind of project wherein he's sitting there working out math problems or working out proofs or something like that, rather than forcing that kid to read early 20th century English literature. Now, I would go more for the literature, but I mean, it would, for me, it would be grueling to sit around and do a bunch of math. But for for other people, it would be equally grueling to sit and read books and give book reports and such. So yeah, if the projects were set up in a way like, how do what are your interests, and propose for me a project, and we can work out a contract. Ooh, imagine this, a contract where you do X, and then I agree to do Y if you do X, and if you don't do X, you don't get it, and I have to keep my word, and you have to keep your word, and we're both legally bound by a contract, voluntary association between functional human beings, where you treat the kid as a functional human being, capable of learning and making agreements and keeping those agreements, and capable of being a functional social being within a society, rather than treating them as though they are bad and must be made good. See, what you're proposing on the whole is a really good idea. The school system as it exists now has inspired myself a long time ago in the past, back in the Middle Ages, right? As well as many of my friends and such, to say they should be paying us to go to school. Well, why not? We get up much earlier than we liked. We went and we did exactly not exactly, but we'd get in trouble when we didn't. We were expected to do things even though we didn't want to do them. We stayed longer than we wanted to stay. Why shouldn't we get paid for that work? Because that's what it is. We had no incentives. We were told to work without incentive. Now, but here's the rub. Here's the rub. When we said, well, we should pay us to go to school, we were told that we will get paid, but the pay will come later, when we get good jobs, when we get hired by an employer, right? Well, see, funny thing about that, this is the same system that borrows money to pay off debts. The political class is the very well connected political class. These are the same people who have eliminated the gold standard and throw more money at a lagging economy and create artificial boom and bust cycles. So when the students can't, what happens when the students can't find a job because their great grandfather's generation, the political class of that generation, said, well, we'll all be dead by then anyway. Well, guess what? Now these generations are living in crash time. Faith didn't work. And see, here's where it gets really ugly. Not only are you being told that you're working for something that they cannot and will not guarantee for you a good job, or you may not even find your passion in life, even what you want to do for a hobby, because you're too goddamn busy working at exactly what they tell you to do, absorbing exactly what they tell you to absorb, no more, no less, and spitting it out, regurgitating it in exactly the way they want you to. You may not even find what you want to do as a hobby while you're working at some crap job trying to support yourself, while maybe one day you might, maybe you'll be a musician or an author or something. You may not even have found that, passion or something. So, and here's what gets really, really ugly. Really ugly. If you do exactly what we tell you to, if you're a good, insert religion here, you will be reincarnated as something higher. You will reach a state of nirvana. You will go to heaven. If you're a good little statist, or if you're a good little communist, and give freely of yourself to the whole, later on, generations of your children will live in a utopian paradise. If you just give of yourself, give, your reward will come later. We promise. You just have to have faith. So, they're very happy to tell you, sit down, shut up, and basically open wide, and we insert into you exactly what we want. And you better give it back exactly the way we want it, or you're not going to get your good grades. Yeah. Right. So your reward, they don't even provide a reward for you, even long term. They just promise one. A very mystical one. I woke up my cat ranting, right? And here is something else very insidious. Your rewards in the system now, what are they? A's, B's, maybe you'll get a lot of A's, you'll be a valedictorian, graduate magna cum laude, summa cum laude, right? Okay, and congratulations to people who did, right? I mean, that takes work, discipline, yeah. Yeah, probably does take some intelligence to do that, yes. Nothing against those people. But what's the reward? Essentially, you get approval from the system. You are not acceptable to the school system as it is now until you sit down, shut the fuck up, and do exactly what you're told and learn exactly what you're told to learn. You are graded on how well you do that, and you're not even given a real incentive. You're given air. You're given fucking letters. Letters that signify approval. Yay, I get fucking approval from Mother Church. Oh, Father State? Are we a fatherland or are we a motherland? I don't know. Is the United States a fatherland or a motherland? Just don't spell America with a K in my comments. It's not creative anymore. Stop doing it. And spelling Fox News, F-A-U-X, faux news, it's not witty, it's not creative anymore. Please, no one ever do that in my comments, right? But, so basically, your reward is to have Mother, Father, State Church give you its approval, because apparently we're not, as we are, we're not good enough. We have to earn the approval of this system, and they are too goddamn greedy. If I don't consider taxes fair share, I'm greedy, right? But they're so fucking greedy. They pay us in fucking letters. Anyway, and if students were paid to learn, they would learn about ecofuckonomics. Ecofuckonomics. YouTube, it's great, right? What the hell? I don't know. Do I have an ugly one in the back yet? That's what I want to know. But really, there's a reason they don't teach an economics class. There's a reason high schoolers and middle schoolers aren't getting philosophy 101, economics 101. They don't want us to think about how we think, and they don't want us to know a damn thing about money. Yay, bailouts! Bailouts, great YouTube! That's what they want.